All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about an idea that could completely reshape our future. What if the world's most valuable thing wasn't money, but pure, usable intelligence? And here's the kicker. This isn't just some sci-fi thought experiment. It's actually being built right now.
And this vision? It comes from a pretty big name, Jensen Huang, the CEO of Nvidia. He's imagining a future where we take excess energy, and instead of just turning it into a currency like Bitcoin, we convert it into something way more universal, intelligence. I mean, think about that. It completely changes how we even define value.
So what if this isn't some far-off, distant future? What if the actual groundwork for this whole intelligence currency is being laid right now on a decentralized network? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into.
The network I'm talking about, it's called Bittensor, and a lot of people in the tech and crypto world are saying this is it. This is the real-world version of Jensen Huang's vision, a global, decentralized network built from the ground up to create and share AI.
Okay, so this slide, it really breaks down a super complex idea in a simple way. Most of us get Bitcoin, right? It takes extra electricity and turns it into digital money. Well, Bittensor runs on a similar kind of logic, but instead of harnessing excess energy, it harnesses excess computing power. And what does it create? Something totally new, verifiable, high-quality intelligence.
So the big question is, how does a massive intelligence network like this actually work? Well, the answer is in something called subnets. And today, we're going to peek inside one specific engine room that's building something really, really cool. Subnet 121, which goes by the name Sundae Bar.
So what's a subnet? The easiest way to think about it is like a specialized department in a huge company. Each subnet is its own little competitive marketplace, and it's totally focused on one specific AI task. You know, that could be anything from data analysis to creating images, or in the case we're looking at, something a whole lot more ambitious.
And that brings us right back to Subnet 121. See, its goal isn't just to build another AI model. No, it's about creating fully functional, enterprise-ready AI agents. You could almost call them digital employees. And get this isn't some side project running out of a garage. It's operated by Sundae Bar, a public company listed on the London Stock Exchange.
So you're probably wondering, how do they make sure these agents are actually any good? Well, it's all about this four-step process. First, developers from literally anywhere in the world can submit their AI agents to solve business problems. Then, a bunch of independent validators come in and test them, like really put them through their paces. The ones that perform the best, they get rewarded with crypto. And finally, the absolute best of the best, the cream of the crop, they graduate and get added to a marketplace where real companies can actually hire them.
Okay, so that brings us to the actual product itself, these digital employees. Let's really dive in and see what makes this new kind of workforce tick. First things first, we need to be crystal clear about something. This is not just another version of ChatGPT or some simple little chatbot you see on a website. Not even close. We're talking about the next evolution of AI here. Autonomous digital workers that are designed to work just like real employees. They can think for themselves and handle seriously complex stuff.
And this is really what sets them apart. These agents have long-term memory, which means they actually learn from their experiences. They can understand your company's specific way of doing things, and they adapt over time. So the more you use them, the better they get, and the more valuable they become. Honestly, it's just like a new human employee getting better at their job with more experience.
Okay, let's make this real. Imagine this. What if you could hire a sales rep that works 24/7, never gets tired, never takes a break, and just crushes cold calls and emails all day and all night? Well, that's one of the agents you can actually get on this marketplace. Or how about this one? An SEO expert. Instead of forking out a ton of money for an agency, you could just deploy an AI agent. Its only job would be to get your website to the top of Google, and it would constantly be learning and adapting to all those crazy algorithm changes.
And just think about the savings in your back office. You could have an agent that's a total pro at accounting and balancing the books. I mean, that's a job that usually takes a ton of careful human hours, right? Now, it can be automated, which frees up so much time and probably cuts down on a lot of errors, too.
And honestly, the list just keeps going. There are agents for customer support, for HR, for analyzing your internal processes, for automating operations. Basically, you name it. If it's a standardized job within a business, it's probably a potential role for one of these digital workers.
Okay, so let's zoom back out for a second.
What does all of this really mean for the future of business? Well, it points to a massive, fundamental shift in how companies are going to operate and where they're going to spend their money.
40%. Just look at that number for a second. 40%. What do you think that represents?
Well, according to Gartner, and these guys are a huge deal in tech research, in just the next few years, 40% of all enterprise software will have AI agents built right into them. So yeah, this is not some tiny niche trend. It's about to become a standard, everyday part of the business world.
And this slide just captures that shift perfectly. We're moving away from the old model of software, static stuff like Salesforce, which is basically a tool that a person has to use. We're moving towards these dynamic, autonomous systems like Sundae Bar. And the key difference is they aren't just tools, they're the digital workers that actually do the task for you. And this is why it's so important that this is all being built on Bittensor. It brings us full circle. The whole network is designed to be one big, competitive ecosystem. Developers are always pushed to build better, faster, and smarter agents because they're rewarded for it. And that creates this constant, rapid-fire improvement that, frankly, one single company would have a really hard time keeping up with.
So we're ending right back where we started, with this idea of intelligence as a currency. If these autonomous AI agents can take over more and more of the day-to-day work, it forces us to ask a really big question. What's the new job for human intelligence? What's the thing that we are uniquely valuable for? And that is the question I want to leave you with today.